Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. My question to you is this too soon? What are you talking about? I'm just listening. Is this too soon? Is the virtual fireplace too soon to talk about? Because we're going to get colder. In fact, we're going to get kind of chilly over the next couple of days, and we're kind of on the downward trend even today. Because yesterday we got up to, let's see what my notes say, 86. So if my notes say 86, that's what we got to. We got to 86 at McGee-Tyson. We won't get that warm today. We're going to get maybe into the lower 80s, about 83 if we're lucky. And then tomorrow, we'll be lucky to get to 75. And then on Saturday, we'll be lucky to get to 65. But that doesn't really describe the morning lows. Ba-boom, right? You're going to say, it feels like fall. It feels like a corn maze, maybe a pumpkin patch. Maybe that's what you're thinking. But the virtual fireplace was warming. It warms my heart. It just makes me feel so good. Maybe some s'mores and maybe some marshmallows and graham crackers and chocolate sound good to you. Anyway, visibility this morning, and we're going to get into the big story, which is the rain or the lack thereof. We have some poor visibility, especially over the Smokies, western North Carolina. Jacksboro has a visibility of 8. So if it's not as bad as it's been in previous mornings, it may be because we've had an abundance of clouds roll in, and that may have put a stoppage to some of the fog forming at a neighborhood near you. Here are the clouds over the last 6 hours, and you can see some of the darker, thicker clouds of blue trying to work their way between Oak Ridge, Kingston, and Wartburg, just to name a few. But we'll find, I think, hazy sun and clouds today once the sun comes up a little bit later this morning. But here's the ultimate Doppler radar. A little bit of ground clutter. The ultimate Doppler radar presented by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling. They are focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy. Check them out at a1fincham.com. I also have their phone number and information at the top of this Facebook post. But where's this rain? I thought we were getting some rain. Well, look, I see some in the Memphis area. It's certainly moving toward Cape Girardeau and maybe back toward Little Rock, Arkansas. So we have some rain on the table. The question is how much of that will make it here. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to show you a future rainfall, a couple of slides here, and that's coming up next. But before I get to that, how dry is it? Because I know you could say it's been dry. Have you seen how crunchy my grass is? It's crunchy. Oh, yes, those dark orange areas represent 2 and 3 inches of a deficit over the last month, over the last 30 days. So we could use the rain, and there will be a new drought monitor that's issued by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That'll come out around 8:30 this morning, and I'm convinced that this will expand. It may line up pretty well with these colors, but about half of our viewing area was under the level 1 abnormally dry conditions last Thursday, which really took into account due to Tuesday's data for the week before. So I just definitely, it's going to grow. And the rain that we get tonight and into Friday evening will pale into comparison to what we need, because it's just not going to be that much. It's not going to cure all that ails us. Now, this is probably the most important thing I can share with you. How much rainfall am I going to get? Well, buckle your seatbelt. There's just not a lot here. I mean, this suggests about 0.05 of an inch. I mean, that's like Mother Nature doing a spit. It's a little spitting distance of rain. I mean, there's hardly any rain in Newport, Morristown, based on the algorithms here. So you're just not going to find a lot. And if this were to verify, it'd be great if Oneida could receive 0.44, but this isn't gospel. This is just guidance. And if I were to show you slide number 2, because this is not a game show, is it door number 1 or door number 2? Is it future rainfall number 1 or is it number 2? Here's number 2. This one maybe shows a little more promise, maybe a little bit more in your neighborhood, maybe not. It just depends on where you are. This 5 o'clock today, we go into tonight, it starts to move in from the west. I see maybe about 1/10 to 2/10 out west. I'm looking at Wartburg at 2/10, and maybe just under 2/10 in Knoxville. So it's a kind of a range, but that's consistent with what I shared with you yesterday. I said 0.10 to 0.25, as much as 0.25. Just not a big range. But I am curious to know how you're doing. By the way, good morning. It is Thursday. Happy to have you on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and love to be able to see your comments. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Maybe pop it up over here on YouTube and on Facebook if you're on here. Fred says, good morning, David. We need some rain. Oh, do we ever? We do need some rain, Fred. And sadly, your home state, if I'm not mistaken, because we've not met just other than on this platform, Fred has ties or has spent some time in the state of Maine. Maine and New England will be bracing for a tropical storm this weekend. And they're going to get a lot of that rain. That's also going to come with wind. and the beautiful fall color, because it's a bad time, a good time for fall color, bad time to have the strong winds come in, because that will also cause the fall color to come down prematurely with tropical storm force winds. That makes sense? Makes sense, I think, on many accounts. But the future rainfall isn't necessarily going to win any hearts because it's just not a lot in the forecast. As far as temperatures right now, we are at 64 degrees in Knoxville. I was checking the Crossville Memorial Whitson Field Airport. It's been down since the 20th of September, so I do the little interpolation there, but they're around 58. 62 Maryville, 64 Morristown, and it's currently 59 in Bell County in Middlesboro, also known as Crater City. 61 this morning in Wartburg, as well as into around, say, Rockwood and Kingston. Temperatures right now out west are warmer. It's 71. It's 57 in Johnson City, and we've got 62 in Chattanooga. I've got a couple of notes from you. Wanda Post says, how much will the wind speed be for Philippe? Probably 60, 65 or more. That's a possibility. But here, we're not going to have much wind. Not much. In fact, I've got 0 to 5 for tonight, and for today, I have, what do I have? I got 5 to 10. It does pick up today, 5 to 10 in the afternoon from the southwest. Esther Adkins says, good morning, David. 62 degrees in Washburn. Have a good day. Washburn, is that home of the Pirates? I'm going to guess. You can confirm that. I'm thinking high school. I may have passed through Washburns. I did pass through on my way to Sneedville. By the way, this is a special edition of the Captain Accurate Facebook Live and YouTube Live, because I'm going to talk more about Sneedville and the celebrity that I got to meet on Monday. May be surprised who, if you're a country music fan, who in fact I had some time with this Monday. But I want to go to more on Sneedville at the end of my presentation here. It's 57 right now in Johnson City, and these are warm numbers compared to where we're going to be. I mean, this represents, what, 64? That represents roughly Saturday's high. We're not going to get out of the mid-60s on Saturday afternoon. So the colder air doesn't show up yet, but it will be coming to a neighborhood near you. Wind speeds, not much. Hopefully that addresses the answer or to the question that Wanda had about wind. But today, I'm expecting 83 for Knoxville, 83 for Maryville, Alcoa, 81 for Talbot, Jefferson City, Morristown, and Russellville, about 83 for Dandridge, Newport, Cosby, as well as, say, Del Rio and Parrotsville. Tracking some clouds. We have a little bit more of the way cloud cover today versus yesterday. That is to be expected, as the rainmaker is now approaching not only Memphis, but really covering much of Arkansas at the moment. Sunrise, sunset times, are you ready for these? They are coming up 7:34, and I don't have the sunglasses as readily on my emoji as I might have had if on a different type of day, but 7:14 is when the sun will be setting this evening. So our days, in fact, are getting shorter. Let's get you to the bus stop and certainly the pickup. As we're starting the morning in the 50s and 60s, I expect temperatures will be in the upper 60s as early as 10 o'clock. And by 2 o'clock to 3:30, the key time may be to pick up one's kiddos around 80. And high temperature about 83. So here are my headlines. One more dry day today. Some spotty rain develops tonight. Don't keep much expectation. Maybe a little bit more in the plateau. But showers, even a rumble of thunder, will be possible on Friday. Most of us will experience the showers, if we get anything at all, not so much the rumbles. I'm going to show you what's going on upstairs to the tune of about 5,000 feet. Because if it gets cold up there, it typically comes down here in modified form. Certainly the Smokies are colder than we are. But notice the warm colors through 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Once we get into, say, 10 o'clock Friday night, we got high school football action. I do see the possibility of getting colder aloft, absolutely. And look at the blue color here. It starts to get cold enough that if we had just the right ingredients, we could maybe see some snowflakes in the higher hills. I certainly think frost will be an issue in some areas before the weekend is through. Certainly the Smokies Plateau are potentially there, but Knoxville will drop to 40. And some upper 30s will be more common. But look at the cold air right through the weekend. Then we see a bit of a pullback to the warmer colors heading into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So you say, well, phew, I'm glad we got through that. Hold the phone. There's another wave coming, and that comes in next weekend. So by the 15th of October, gets cold again. Another spoke comes in, it warms back up. And then by the time we hit the 20th of October. So welcome to the roller coaster. You're going to feel like you're going to need a scorecard to keep track. And that's why I say, is it too soon? Because yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is today. But come Saturday morning, where's my virtual fireplace? I'm cold. Some of you are going to like, I just flip a switch. Some of you have to throw in the Duralog or whatever it is, the little keep things burning, because it's going to be colder heading into this weekend. All right, I want to bring you up to speed on the tropics. We do have another landfalling tropical storm this weekend. This is Philippe in the center of your screen. And while he has been kind of meandering for days, as that broken white line would indicate, he now has winds of 40, but he is likely to strengthen. And this is from the National Hurricane Center. This is their track. But it stays around 40 miles per hour at 2 o'clock today. And then heading into, say, tomorrow morning, it picks up speed up to 50 by Friday afternoon. 60. Could it make landfall as a 65? Maybe 70? It's possible. But this is where Philippe's going to land. And it's going to bring, I think, some heavy rain in around the Boston area. So now Massachusetts, because it's trending a little bit further west, it's going to have a bigger impact on eastern sections of New England. And it may not be a direct landfall in Nova Scotia or Halifax. Looks like it's probably going to be west of Halifax. And then by the time we get to next week, Monday, it weakens in over Canada. But if you zoom in, this is their track, and they're honing in on that track squarely over the state of Maine. Good morning once again. I want to say hi to Michael Norman. I need to go back to Orlando for the winter. He says, I'm not impressed with the word frost. Well, you had also some good days, I think you said, coming to you. You had some vacation days because you worked a string. I think that was the comment yesterday, but Michael, glad to have you here. Wanda Post says Newport's going to have a harvest festival this weekend. Awesome. I do know that Sneedville is having their fall festival this weekend. I learned that on Monday. And many of you may have other festivals. Share them with me. Linda Rice says, good morning, David. Have a great day and glad to have you here. And as far as what I'm seeing on YouTube, let's pop up back over here. I got 2 people watching. That's good. Leave me a comment. You could be the first comment today. I'll give a shout out as best I can on the YouTube comments as well. All right, so this tropical storm Philippe will become a story this weekend. I want to show you the energy associated with the Futurecast. It brings bands of this and just spins it right into New England, upstate New York, New Jersey, and Boston through Saturday morning. Then it kind of pulls together like a figure skater's arms when they're spinning in a circle. Starts to get a little more intense. That's why I think 60 may be conservative. This could be a 65, maybe 70 mile per hour tropical storm when it makes landfall, probably closer to Maine now as we head into Saturday night, Sunday morning. But eventually it'll dissipate and fade away from view. Meanwhile, there's another storm system that's forming in the Atlantic. It's got a 30% chance of formation there. And back to the Pacific, a couple of areas. The 80% chance might be Tropical Storm Max. I think Max seems a popular name for dogs. Max. But anyway, that's certainly something to watch there if you have concerns down in the Pacific. Now, Atlantic storm names. We've got Sean, who might be forming now in the Atlantic with that 30% area in yellow. But Tammy, Vince, and Whitney would take us through the prescribed names for this year. Mention YouTube and the subscribing to my channel. Would love to have you join one of my fastest growing platforms. If you're on here, leave me a comment. I'm happy to share that with all those who might be watching as we continue to grow and continue the reach as far as the YouTube channel. As far as right now, we're at 64 degrees, no wind to speak of, and the dew point is at 62. Precipitation chances look pretty paltry after tomorrow night. Because we drop about 20% now for the evening. In fact, things look better for Friday night football. I do believe the bleachers will probably have some wet areas. You sit down and say, oh, I didn't know it rained earlier. But I don't necessarily expect it to be raining as actively by the time many of the kids take to the field on Friday night because of the speed of this system. And keep in mind, there's also a lot of energy from Philippe going north. The front that's coming in is meeting an atmospheric traffic jam. So by the time it gets here, there might not be a lot of rain. There's only so much energy to go around as this system pulls to our east. Valley Planner for today, making your plans. An average high is 76 this time of year, and we'll be closer to that tomorrow. But today, still warm for this time of year. High temperature should reach about 83 in the heart of the valley for Knoxville and the surrounding areas like Oak Ridge, Maryville as well. Storm Prediction Center, there's not a lot to talk about severe weather, just some general thunderstorms in the Midwest, but you're going to be amazed of how this map changes come tomorrow. What am I talking about? You can see that the risk for thunder back toward Bowling Green or maybe into Arkansas just dries up tomorrow. That's why I just dropped the expectation to just some rumbles. A couple of rumbles maybe around the Great Lakes, maybe a few areas in deep South Texas there, but there's just not a lot of thunder in the expectation for Friday. Saturday, not much different. We are going to be moving into a cooler pattern. And of course, where there may be more thunder will be as Philippe makes his run toward New England. That's why you see some green across the mid-Atlantic on Saturday. All right, so here we go. Let me get you the update here. Now, this shows a more promising look in terms of the rain. But this boundary is very slow to move. It brings in heavier rains in Memphis and Jackson, brings it into Nashville by 5 o'clock. And I suspect there'll probably be even less than what you see here, because these models are not going to necessarily recognize all the energy just off the coast. As we move into Friday morning, a couple of showers that could be hopeful if we need the rain, and we do. By midday, it may look like this, and then kind of the front kind of just does a dance, right? It's running into that atmospheric traffic jam. It hasn't cleared the area as quickly, maybe simply because there's more activity off the coast. But eventually it swings out, and boy, does the colder air begin to infiltrate in, and that's when we really start to say, you know what, I might need a jacket come Saturday night, if not Sunday morning, because we're down to around 40 degrees on Sunday morning. That's mind-blowing, right, compared to where we've been. Futurecast looks like today we're up to 76 at noontime today. A blend of hazy sun and clouds. How far do we get? Well, we get up to about, say, 4 o'clock. There's rain in the distance to the west of Jamestown, but I suspect 83 is where we're headed this afternoon. By 5 o'clock, there could be some showers in Fentress County, but I suspect it's going to probably be muted. This may be more the aggressive look to the outcome. But again, still some showers this evening are certainly possible. And then we go into tomorrow, same situation. I've left a 40% chance of rain tomorrow. There's a look at 10 o'clock. More moderate rain in yellow over La Follette, Jacksboro, Caryville, and maybe even toward Kingston and Harriman. Sliding into midday tomorrow, maybe that's our best chance for some rain in Knoxville. But then it really starts to dry out just in time for high school football. Most of the rain has already moved toward the Smokies at 11 o'clock, and it starts to dry out accordingly. And look at these numbers. We'll be generally in the upper 40s by Saturday morning, I think, by the time we start that weekend morning of Saturday. So today, 83 degrees, hazy, sun and clouds, still warm, winds about at southwest 5 to 10. And as we look at, oh, I got another person on YouTube. Let me know if you're on YouTube. Be the first comment. And I got Denise. She's on here talking about looking forward to the colder air. But here are the high temperatures today. I expect 81 Oak Ridge, 81 Morristown, and 80 in Sevierville and Pigeon Forge. That note from Denise says, have a great day. She's got, thanks for the forecast for us. She's got the cup of coffee, virtual cup. I love it. Thank you, Denise. Well, that's maybe Nancy Douglas. Moses, excuse me. Denise says, looking forward to the cooler air, hoping some rain to knock down the dust. Absolutely. And even the ragweed's still hanging on for as long as it can. Callie Robbins says, good morning. Glad to have Callie here. As I can see, Janet Potts says Jefferson City has the Mossy Creek Festival on Saturday. I love it. She says in the old downtown area from 9 to 5. So Mossy Creek Festival. Thank you for that promotion, Janet, because I love the festivals and love to have anyone promote them, because that's what a lot of people do. They read these comments. As we get back to round out, I want to talk about Sneedville. So if you hang with me, I'm going to share some really cool things. If you're a country music fan, this is one of those Facebook Lives you'll want to share with your friends regarding Morgan Wallen. If you're a Morgan Wallen fan and Sneedville, you know that they kind of go hand in hand. Temperature today, 83 Tellico Plains, looking for high in Crossville, Cumberland County, in the upper 70s. Now, it will be sharply cooler Memphis today, only 72. And if you were to travel to, say, I don't know, Paducah, they're only at 69 for today. That is the canary in the coal mine. That's coming our way. Now, as far as the big picture, more clouds, spots of rain. Winds are going to be generally 0 to 5 tonight. They're not going to move all that much, but we'll drop down to about 59 in Wartburg, 62 for Kingston, 63 Knoxville, and 59 for Sevierville for low temperatures tonight. So you're not going to say it's that cold. I don't know why you pulled out the virtual fireplace when it's this warm. Yes, it was too soon. But if I get you thinking, you go, you know what, if I need a virtual fireplace in the weekend, I probably need to find a jacket. And I don't know, I haven't seen that all season. So you might want to start thinking, where did I put my jacket? I need a jacket sometime this weekend. But low temperatures will be much cooler heading into Saturday morning in the upper 40s. Here's your Captain Accurate 7-day forecast. 83 for Thursday, 75 for Friday. I just described it as a few showers, a few rumbles of thunder as we drop into the mid-60s Saturday and Sunday. But very cool air. Kind of, cold enough to see your breath. That's a tagline I've been saying since last Sunday for my premium members. We'll be in the upper 30s in the plateau Sunday morning. Pleasant, though, for a 72-degree finish on Monday, and then mostly sunny on Tuesday at 74, a little bit warmer, 76. As you saw from the earlier animation, the warm colors, the cool colors, we do go back and forth. It's going to, there is no settling down just yet. This is going to be an active temperature contrast for the month of October for sure. By the way, as I've talked about one of these cool spotlights that I do, haven't done one in a while, but on number 38, last Monday, I had the privilege of going out to Sneedville, Hancock County. I had not been to Hancock County. Did you know it's named after John Hancock? You know, the guy who signed the Declaration of Independence with big letters to tell King George that he was here? Yeah, that's who they named it after. So it's after the U.S. patriot, John Hancock. But Sneedville is actually named after William Henry Sneed, who was an attorney from Knoxville, who fought in court to keep the Hancock County keep it in creation. They were trying to form the county, and there was apparently some litigation over it. But anyway, Sneedville settled in 1784. I love the fact that when I pulled into town, beautiful sign, just rolling hills, and Hancock County with blue skies that I had on Monday. It was just breathtaking. I mean, if you haven't been, this is not one of those towns that you just kind of pull off the interstate and stumble upon. It's a destination, and I would say it's a beautiful destination, especially as we approach fall color through the month of October. But the sunshine was shining bright, lots of green grass, and beautiful people. This is Robert. I got a chance to buy some tomatoes. This is every bit of an Americana town, maybe a little more than 1,000 or 1,200 people, but it does have a lot of history. They've got a cool family diner. Had a chance to eat there. They've got the Wallen Motors Insurance. Morgan Wallen. A lot of folks are kin to one another. It was a beautiful place. I had a chance to talk to a lot of the locals. It is also home of Jimmy Martin. So if you're a fan of bluegrass, you know who Jimmy Martin was. But he is the king of bluegrass. There's the signage for him. And I had a chance to hang out with two of my premium members who came out, both Marilyn and Kathy. Marilyn Bell, Kathy Moeller came out to the courthouse. We took a little selfie. But it wasn't until later in my morning that I had a chance to meet one of the sweetest people I've met in a very long time. This is Kay Brooks. She is the mamaw of country music star, multi-platinum artist, Morgan Wallen. Just really sweet lady. I was kind of overcompensating because when I found out, somebody said, you know, she works over here, and I went over there, and I said, I was trying to explain who I was. It's just, I know who you are. It's just I watch you on Facebook all the time, and I used to watch you on TV before that. So I was very humble, but we had a chance to talk about Morgan's upbringing and how talented this young man was at such a young age, like 5 years old, getting a violin. And I said, do you mean a fiddle? She said, no, it was a violin. And I smiled, and then he graduated to a piano, and then on to other great things, as you know. But he also had such a gift, she said, of just being able to write a song in just a matter of minutes, from getting in the car. By the time he got out of the car, he could sing the lyrics to a brand new song. That's just, to me, a talent. Anyway, could have probably sat down and prayed with her because she's a woman of God and a sweet lady. So if you ever get a chance to see some of my pictures in Sneedville, I would encourage you to check out Mamaw of Morgan Wallen, Kay Brooks, as they are very close indeed. Now, as far as the towns that I have visited, Seymour, Bean Station, and Talbot, I've done 38 of these towns, and I love it because my premium members give me the gasoline money to go to these towns. I couldn't do it without their support. Would love to have you join us. Just go to CaptainAccurate.com. They're voting on where I'm going to go next, but I'm focused now on my winter weather outlook, which will be coming out this month. So if you want to join us, go to Facebook.com/become-supporter/Aldrich Weather. It's just one of the cool services that I love being able to offer because sometimes if you want a little bit extra personalized information, I'm your go-to guy here in Knoxville. I'd love to be able to serve you in that way. Anyway, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.